Okay, well, we already reviewed some of the simulations. You have the experience of one of the lessons that was developing with the simulation in the way that, in general, FED recommends that you use the simulation in your classroom. That is starting with a little free time for the students to play. This is first, that the students discover by itself how the simulation works, and second, it already start to discover what the content is about. In that way, you don't have to give a lot of instructions in your activity design. Other thing that we recommend is that you as teacher is a guided. Then you have to be walking in the classroom, asking students, solving problems for them, motivating them to talk and take notes of what they are learning. After this free play, we have these activity sheets where the students have to be writing the results of their interaction and moments that you recommend to them to discuss with other students. Once that the students finish with that, we recommend a teacher facilitation, as Amanda did, taking notes of the most important points of the lesson and, well, letting students participate and share what they discovered, what they learned. And finally, one kind of little evaluation for the student, like a ticket exit, where they answer some of the questions that are results of that interaction and discussion with the whole group. One of the most important things when you are grading one activity is the learning goal that you want that the students get at the end of the activity. Then that is going to drive your design of the activity and also the way that the students is going to interact with the simulation. We are going to be working the next 2 days in designing that documents, but let me show you what resources already FED have for you. Then if you follow me in the FED website, for any of the simulations that we have there, we have this section that says for teachers. We have here one PDF document that explains how the simulation works, some examples of questions that you can do with that, and the description of the controls. But for that, you need to register. Then I'm going to give you 1-2 minutes. In that way, you can register to the website. You can do it clicking here in this button.
Or at the very top.
Or in the very top here. Okay, now that you finish with the registration, these are the documents that now you are available for you. For each simulation, we have this document that tells you how to use each of the controls, describe what is in each of the screens for the multi-screen simulations, some information for the students, and especially for the science simulation, explication about how the model, what is the model behind of the sim, some questions that you can include in your activity design, and here a link where you can go to the activities and more tips for teachers. Also, we have this video that I don't know why it's super small, but with information about how to use the simulation and how you can use it with your students. And here we have a full table with activities that other teachers already did and are available for you to edit and manipulate. Then the ones that say FED is because we develop it here, and the ones that have a little stars is because are based in Inkiriri activities. They follow a structure very similar to the ones that we showed you in this workshop. Then as you can see, some of these documents are Word documents that you can download and manipulate and adapt for your class. Then not all the time you have to start from nothing. You can just take these documents and adapt it to your students. And if it's your case and you have students that need the simulation in their own languages, as Amanda said in the beginning, we have set simulations translated in so many languages. For example, I am one of the translators to Spanish. This is only some of the resources that we have available for each simulation. We also have more resources that we are going to show in the future about, in general, FED and how to work with FED in your classroom. Oh, this part. Amanda has been working at the, what is the name of this?
The Common Core standards.
And also, if you are in the simulation and you put your mouse over each of these, one is going to give you a description of them.
So under the About section there, you can see the topics that are covered by that sim, but you guys have played with a lot of them already. But there are some sample learning goals there as well to help you decide what your learning goals for your lesson.
Then remember that the learning goal is the one that helps you you are going to design your activity. But also, we as FED believe that the students need to know what he is learning, and in the end, can evaluate if the goal was addressed or not. Then when you are writing this learning goal, not only think in yourself, think in a way that the student is gonna understand and evaluate his learning at the end of the activity. Then now we are going to work a little bit about these learning goals.